pastor got me a coming and I was hungry. So he told me, let's get food. I didn't, yesterday night, I was struggling to sleep. I think I overate. I called my wife today. I said, I could not sleep. 12. I slept around 12. I got out and walked around. It was good food, you just cannot. But it wasn't like anything about the food. It was just my stomach was too full. And so, but thank you very much. The Ghanaian food that you made, thank you for that. Well, as Pastor said, all of us have testimonies of what the Lord does in our lives, and even as he pointed out, the Bible is full of testimonies. It's just testimonies upon. Read Hebrew chapter 11. And just to think of a lot of things that the Lord has been doing in our lives with my wife. As I said, I met my wife in 2017, April, when I thought I would not marry. I kind of came to that conclusion because of certain things that have happened with a friend of mine. His wife ran away, just destroyed his whole ministry. And so I thought, well, if I'm not in it, then I don't get out of it, And then Rachel came, and I fell in it. But God has given us a wonderful marriage. I'm grateful to the Lord for her patience, to work with me. That was one of my burden, just the way ministry is with me. I just don't want my wife to feel like it is my ministry, but not hers, And praise the Lord, it is not, I know it is our ministry. We talked about it. She does things, I do things, and we thank the Lord for how he's working in our lives. And pretty much we love a large family. I came from 4. I'm the only boy. 3 sisters. Oh, brother. She is from a family of 10. And she's a baby, the last born. Is anyone a last born? Okay. I will not say it again. But last ones, they have their own stuff going on. So I got one. And between us, my father, when he was alive, and then up till today, we have a lot of people come through our house. Right now my mom has about 9 children that none of them is our, it's from our relatives, that we are taking care of. In my house, we have about 6. Some of them were Muslims, they become Christians. So we love that family, and we desire that if the Lord will allow that we have children, not 10, but at least, and she's fine, And so when she was pregnant with Carolinda, it was great. We don't find out, okay, is it a boy or girl? We just let it happen. And so Carolinda came, and just the birth was, it was and that's what I just wanted to share, how the Lord, is teaching us, taking us through. Before my wife got pregnant, we prayed that God give us servants. Give us some people that will serve you in whatever area they are, but they are there, they will know that we are serving God. So if it's ministry or business or whatever it is. And so when Carolinda came, we believed that was it. But we will go to the clinic, they will tell everything was all right. And so one Monday, Monday I was going to Burkina Faso. That's a different country. Lyon, taking somebody there. And it was about 5 hours drive. So in the night, my wife and I were just talking, and she said, she doesn't feel Carolinda actually. It's past 1 week, and she doesn't feel anything. And so we prayed and said, God, just show us a sign that something is happening. And then I left to Burkina Faso the following morning. Well, while I was there, she called me and said, I'm with your mother. I said, why? She said, well, I think her water broke or something. She wasn't feeling well. And I thought, well, that's a sign we wanted. The Lord have shown us. And so I came home, and I have a cousin that is a nurse. So I called her, and she said we should come to the hospital. We got there, and then the doctor said, well, she should have been put to bed, so she will stay. and they will induce her. Everything is normal, everything is fine. And so I came home, and that was on Wednesday. I got there, and they said they have to do the surgery. The inducement didn't work. Actually, the man said that the breathing of the girl was just going out. So it was to either he lose, the baby or the surgery. So they went, and within like 20, 30 minutes, she was out. But we didn't see or we didn't touch our daughter for 9 days because she was kept in the NICU. When she came, she didn't cry. And the doctor said she was tired inside the stomach. So, and I think the placenta or something like that was even rotten or something. Certain things happened. But we didn't know that. And I remembered when we got in, wires were everywhere, with her. And it was tough. This is our firstborn. God, why? And so we have another cousin who is in Accra. In the 12-hour drive. We call him and we explain it. And he's a doctor. He said, you need to get her calendar to Accra. And that is 6 hours drive. 12 hours drive. No ambulance. We couldn't find them. I come through the town, I couldn't find an ambulance. And the doctor also said that he will not release Carolina if there's no ambulance, because she will die on the way. And so I remembered, we came in one, and then we just prayed. My wife and I and my mom, thank God for mothers that believe in prayer, just cried unto the Lord. Said, you need to do something. Either you provide a plane, something for us, or we see a sign that something is happening in Carolina's life. And I remembered very clearly that morning we were reading our devotions, and we read Daniel chapter 2, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, going through the fire. And they said, our God is able to deliver us from this furnace fire. But if not, that's a phrase that touched me. But if not, we will not bow down. And we know it was a trial. My family have gone through a lot of trials. My mom, sicknesses, my dad, death. And so we kind of like used to it. But not my wife. They haven't. And she's, I think, 7 years older than my wife. So she's young and all those things. And so actually the burden was on her when we were just. And, the phrase that jumped us to, in that place was when Nebuchadnezzar said, ye servant of the Most High, come out. And the only time this king will know that they are the servants of God was that they go through the fire. If they haven't gone through the fire, Nebuchadnezzar wouldn't have known. And, we said, well, maybe this is our fire God wants us to go through. And that kind of like gave us confidence. God just coming along, giving us that peace. We went to the hospital, and the doctor said, well, we didn't find Carolina where she was. So we were like concerned. And the doctor showed us where she said, well, for some reason, she just came back to life. They couldn't believe it. And well, we know where it came from, And so that was an answer to prayer. And we thank the Lord, came home after 11 days in the NICU. And one Sunday, my wife and I were going to a village for ministry, a church. We were in that church, and it's under a mango tree. That's our building, our church building. And my wife was with Carolina in the vehicle. So when I finished, I came and she said, she's moving, she doesn't know why. So we called the cousin, and the cousin said, well, don't worry, it's motor movement. Children do that. So, but when he comes to our region, we should bring Carolina. So when he came, we took Carolina there, and he said, oh, that's not what he was thinking. He actually doesn't know. So we should make 12-hour trip to Accra, where we will get MRI, ECG, or whatever, all those things, tests done, because there's something wrong. He thinks that there's something wrong. So that was when Carolina was 6 months. We took her there and did everything, and then they didn't want to tell us So I called the nurse and said, well, I know what it is, you have to tell me because I have a wife to talk to. Just don't think of what we will be thinking. And then she said that, well, it's cerebral palsy. They cannot confirm right now because she's still very young. They can, but it might be mild one because all the features they see in a person with cerebral, they are not seeing that occurrence very much, but there's that chance. And so I said, well, this is my first time of hearing something like that. What does it entail? What is it? She said, well, it means we have to do things extra. Help walk, talk, and all those things. And he said, worst case, she might never walk again or talk and all those things. Which was very hard on us, just to think of all those things that has happened. So I told my wife about it, and, as usual, we wept, before the Lord, and just said, God, well, we came to a conclusion that, God, we asked for a servant. And if Carolinda is a servant, so be it. We just want to be in the right position to make sure that we take care of her. We don't want her to be a barrier to the ministry at all. And our joy is not from Carolinda, it's from you, God. And so, call my mom, talk to her about that. And, I thank God for all their response. They all responded well. Because in our place, children like this, they are thrown away. Children like this, they are killed. I know a lot of them that have been, or the husband will kick the mother and child away, from the house. And so we kind of knew what people were expecting, from us. And we thank God for they knowing that we are Christians. So that helped a lot. But when we came home, we saw all that, we started the physio, started medication because she has seizures too, almost all the time. So since now 6 months, when she was born, 6 months, she has been on medication up till today. Three different kinds of medication. And, it was hard on us. I thank God because right now I can tell that story because we know what is happening. We've never seen Carolinda and we are sad. My wife or I, we have never seen Carolinda and then we said, why? First it used to get on us because, you see somebody, she's older than, he's just running around, And I'm thinking, God, why? Why? And even you think, God, they don't serve you. We serve you. We are doing what is right. And the Lord has to, deal with us. Either it's about me or it's about Carolinda. If it's about Carolinda, you will not enjoy it. But if it is about me, God, you will enjoy it. And, most of the time, God has to shift our focus on Him, not on Carolinda. And He does that in different ways. Answers to prayer. We went and then one of the doctors specialists said the eyes are not coordinating. The eyes are not the same. There's a problem. We have to do surgery on that. But he gave us a month. We should come and do the surgery. I came home and we started praying. I have a prayer group, men that we do pray. And so we started praying for the Lord to intervene. We didn't have the money to do those kind of things. And then that month we went, the doctor looked at her and said, is that the girl you brought? The first month? We said, yeah, it's Carolinda. And there was nothing. There was no problem. We haven't used any medication at all. And we know it was of the Lord. She can see clearly. And then the ears. I remember we went there and the doctor did a lot of tests, did some tests and said, okay, next time when you come. So every month we have to travel 12 hours. Every month. We have to drive 12 hours to the place. And so we came again. So we started praying. God, that doctor didn't tell us that there's a problem with the ears. He didn't say anything. He just said, next month when you come, we'll do a different, another examinations and other things. And so we prayed about it. And when we went back, she did about 5 tests just to confirm something. And then finally she came to me and said, I don't understand. I said, why? He said, the first time you came, there was a problem with her ears. And so that's why we asked you to come. He said, when you came, we've done 5 of them. We are comparing it, and what we saw the first time, we didn't see it. And so God comes in, the appointing time to tell us that it's not a mistake. Carolinda is not a mistake in our lives. In fact, it's a blessing in our lives. And I remember the doctor, he's my cousin, he blames himself a lot. He wasn't there. He's a gynecologist. And so he still thinks that if he was there, it wouldn't have happened, because he said that it was the fault of the doctors. Instead of, they shouldn't have induced her when they knew that this was what was happening. They should have gone straight to do the surgery. That would have cleared everything. And so she's still, So with John, he didn't wait. He did not wait. John was supposed to come June 19th. And he told us, he said, okay, Rachel, you are not going to give birth. Naturally, I will do the surgery. And so that was June 19th. June 18th, he called me and said, bring Rachel in. I said, today is not June 19th. And he said, I know. He said, this morning I got up, just doing my devotions, praying, and I thought, he said, today is the day for me to do the surgery. And so Rachel was actually washing stuff outside. I said, hey, prepare, let's go. And then we went. I witnessed the whole thing. He allowed me to come in, see everything. Oh, wow. Thank God for mothers, and wives. What they go through, it's a lot. And John came. So we thank the Lord for that. And then with Karen, it has given us a time for us to witness to people that we would have never come in contact with when we go to the physiotherapy. Since I've been going there, I've never seen a husband bring a child. Never. They are all the wives, the women bringing the child. And most of the story, the husband is not there. And some of them, they wanted to kill the baby, so the mother has to take the baby and run away. And most of them are Muslims also. So it has opened a whole world that we never thought. I never thought that these things were there at all. I never thought that there were people that were hurting in that aspect of life, and that has opened up, a lot of opportunities for us. Just to go in, talk to this. And God made it in a special way that everybody that sees Carolinda loves Carolinda. Yeah, it's just amazing. Anybody, they comes in and go. Now even the guy, Moses, that we take Carolinda to the hospital, now comes to our house to do the physiotherapy on Carolinda. And so Carolinda doesn't have to go to the house, to the hospital. And then my mom, taking care of her. When I was coming, that was one of the issues that I don't know how, because John and Carolyn, John is a handful, Now he's teaching us all that we miss in Carolinda. Yeah. We never know that, a baby roll and fall. I have to tell you, one night around 2, I had a noise, a crying. I waked up and John wasn't on the bed. I think he rolled and then he fell. He was down crying. I said, honey, we need to do something else, But we never know that, the crawling, we never saw it. And John just began to do that when I came here. And so when my wife called, now it's fun. Oh, John is crawling. And I said, okay, don't let him get anything, But God has been gracious to us. And just recent, before I came, my wife and I were thinking, what can we do that Carolinda become a ministry, for us, especially with the unreached people group that we know of. And one of my sisters said, we have to use Carolina as a center of attraction, to bring in people that we can help. And when she's thinking, she has every picture. She's thinking of having a whole facility of these kids coming in. We're taking care. That will give us the opportunity for us to witness to the mothers. They'll have time, for us, education-wise. And some of the medicines that they don't get in Accra, we can help, bring them from, because not all the medicines are in our place. Some of the food supplements. And so I said, well, let's be praying about it. Let's be thinking. So we are actually praying, thinking about it, that to see how the Lord can work things out. When I came, we needed a wheelchair. The way she's growing is very difficult to pick her all the time, so we needed a wheelchair. And then they caused a group, Wheel for the World or something like that. I think it's in California. Pardon? Okay, maybe, I don't know. They've been all over the world, with wheels, and wheelchairs, and then help on. Some, I didn't know, somebody got hold of them, and they are interested to help with, even if it's ministry that they can. I'm just waiting for their call, to see how we can partner to help these people, and not just physically, but spiritually, because most of them don't know Christ. Most of them will never come to church. Because of their background, they are Muslims, but to have a place like this and for them to come, as for that, you can witness to them. And so that is one of the, if you can put that on your prayer list, actually, that pray that the Lord use Carolina to open a ministry, for us, that we can minister to these people. So that is the story of Carolina. She has been a blessing to us and to our people, our church, folks loved her, wherever she is. So my mom, actually, before I came, my mom took her to her house so that she would give a break to Rachel and John. But they stay like 3 miles away. So every day she goes there to visit. In fact, it was one of the times that she went there, she was coming, that she had the accident. She was going home. Somebody with a bicycle crossed her. And actually, she said it was a miracle the way they fell. They fell off from the motorbike, and John not being hurt. It's just amazing. And we thank the Lord, for that. But she has some bruises, and she's limping. But she said she's getting on better, so we thank the Lord for that also. So the Lord has been good.
How old is John?
John will be 1 next week. Thank you. I have to call. John will be 1 next week, and so we are glad that the Lord. So because of that, I don't know whether we will get to the number of children we want. Because between John and her is 3 years interval, which is okay. So, but we are praying that the Lord, do help with that. So that's something the Lord has been working in every day. Now we are praying, God, give us wisdom to handle Carolina, and give us the patience. We always, all the time, pray that God heal her. But if He is not doing that, then He has a reason. And so we are saying now, God, give us patience and wisdom, so that we don't miss what you want us to know in Carolina's life. So that is the story of our little precious daughter, Carolina, for us. So. You're welcome. Thank you.